Joe. Mutual Cups of Joe.
There you go. What's good, man?
Man, just hanging. Just finished off some eggs. Relaxing. It's a beautiful day. Got to run for the first time in a while, and now Here we are.
3 cups of Joe today so far.
Feeling nice and hyped up, huh?
Got up at 6.
Got up at 6. This is like a pilot test episode of the Pass First Hoopscast. How does it feel to say that?
Probably one of the better things that I've heard said in a long time here.
Yeah, why don't you just say it again?
Pass First Hoopscast.
The Hoopscast.
The Hoopscast.
I'm Drew or I'm Dubes. I don't know what I should necessarily go by at this point.
Both.
Are you Hick or are you Pat or are you Bearded One?
I think I'm someone who could go by a few things, and we'll see where it goes here.
It's all coming together. So I'm excited about this because we love basketball. I love reading about basketball. I know you do too. It's a passion of mine, and isn't that the dream, to turn something that you spend time doing into something that you do more?
Everyone likes to talk about what they love.
Indeed. I'm just happy to be doing it.
Same. It's been a while since we chatted last, so there's a lot going on here.
So what happened? Let's give a little celebration. The Pistons are in the playoffs. This is almost an emergency call. First time since 2009.
It's been a while. It's been a long while.
Did you catch the game?
Oh, it was one of my favorite games in a while.
What happened?
Starting off just so hot. Like, I'm talking, we're hitting everything from deep.
I heard we hit our first 6.
Reggie and Tobias were just drilling.
These guys, just hearing them talk a little bit, going into the Chicago game, it was like, this is the biggest game that almost all of these guys have ever played in, and this is a great opportunity for them.
Oh man, the Chicago game was like it was like a business trip. It was awesome.
Wow.
After we kind of, we have our last game at home there against Dallas, and we just kind of don't really show up to it. Mm-hmm. So then it's like do or die in Chicago, who's right on our heels.
In a back-to-back, too, at Chicago.
Not a single guy in our starting lineup outside of Reggie has even touched the postseason.
It's amazing. And they're aware of it, and they're buying in, and they love Stan. These guys are all giving Stan so much credit.
Stan is just like wheeling out there right now.
What's his swag?
It's his time of year. He's wild on the sidelines too. Like, he's just so into it. Like 180% just going crazy.
Is he like jumping around? What's his
style? Back in his Magic days when he was like wild too, he'd like sweat in the suit and go crazy and jump around. He's still just like that. He's like just as fiery, and I think he really gets the guys going. Yeah,
I mean, they can feed off that. That's he must be so excited to be back within all of this.
Oh man, I heard him he came on the radio yesterday when I was driving home, and they were just like asking him about getting in or about the possibility of playing the Raptors, and he was just giddy about just getting in. He didn't even care about the Raptors. He just wanted to get in so bad. Best way to go. Like, all the guys, that's all they want, he said. Mm-hmm. He said they're all getting text messages like congrats before they have the playoff thing locked up.
Jeez, like after the Chicago win and stuff?
Yeah, he's like, right after the Chicago game, all my players and me were all getting texts, you're back in the playoffs.
That must drive him crazy.
Like, come on.
Who's doing this? Did he drop any names?
He says, like, close friends.
Man, the way these players communicate with each other and the coaches, it must just be insanity.
That's what I'm saying. And all these young guys, like, I mean, you got to think that they're also thinking about the Raptors a little bit. It would be great to grab them.
Totally. I mean, how do you avoid it? You literally can't have a cell phone if you don't want to hear about who you might be playing and potential matchups and guys saying different things. It's amazing what these guys deal with mentally.
Last night, it just seemed again like they were all business and ready to go. And the Magic made They made a big-time comeback at the end of the third, the Wizards.
They pulled back ahead by 1 in the third.
Yeah, it was like a crazy 19-3 run or something like that. Or Markieff Morris hits a half-court buzzer beater.
Keith showing out.
Like, he was out for blood last night. I was thinking to myself, dude, your brother is on the cusp of the playoffs, and you guys have to win out and we have to lose out. It's really unlikely that you're going to do anything. Why are you putting your foot to the pedal right now?
Yeah, let it slide, man.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Come on, look at your brother. He's feet from you wanting to taste the postseason.
I don't understand why you're going crazy right now trying to get us.
I love that. Those guys are such fierce competitors. They are
dude.
On another level.
And he's like chest pumping and getting all fired up and playing so well. I'm talking like that is what I think of when I think of Keith.
Yeah, they don't care about nothing.
And Marcus was like even I think fired up for Keith that he was having a good game.
That's
I'm
awesome.
serious.
Yeah, I saw Marcus said something like, I was waiting for when they were going to switch me onto him because I know all his moves and I could have shut him down.
I know, and it's interesting because I'm guessing Stan just probably doesn't want to put them in that situation. Maybe it's not worth it. I don't know. But Marcus is kind of longer than Tobias.
Oh, like he can guard bigger fellas?
I think so, but Tobias also is really good at defense. And they switch on everything, which is so perfect.
These two are so important to have. I mean,
last
can you
night,
believe
Tobias was just smooth as can be. Everything was going down for him.
What does he do? He gets it, and does he throw it up, or is he dribbling a little bit? I mean, what was
he takes it to the rack a lot. He finds himself open for threes all day because he's a 4, so a lot of these 4s can't get out to get him. He's always moving, and he also is a pretty good passer. He's got a really good handle. Like with the left, for instance, he goes to the left all day, which is really, really nice. 23 years old.
So he really is ambidextrous.
That's what they said immediately when he came to town.
As they announced in the first game. What happened with... I was a little worried about Andre. It said he wasn't really celebrating with the team because he was all...
Yeah, the last couple nights have been kind of tough when we're pulling him out. He obviously wants to play. He also understands that they're just going to hack him, and I think he's just having trouble. I think it's more he's down on himself about the free throws than he's down on the team.
Right.
But he needs to show happiness for the squad. But it's okay to be upset with yourself because he's like he knows that he's better than what he's shooting.
Right. It's a tough balance, and
exactly.
He definitely needs an off season.
I'm really trying not to harp on this Andre stuff because there's so much good going on with the team, and he's been so important, and he's given it his all for us. Like, he's on tough times. We just need to let him ride it out a little bit right now, you know?
Yeah, I have nothing but love and support for Andre. Just
exactly.
Everything he's doing. What was this, the community of the month? The community player?
Yeah, he was like the man of the month in February for the NBA.
He understands what's important about being a leader on an NBA team, and that's definitely why he's really flustered right now with some of this stuff.
And he's 22 years old. Like, he's never gone through something like this. Everything's always been, other than, a semi-tough season at UConn, but not really.
Yeah.
He's never gone through something where he's really struggled on the basketball court.
Right, and there is so much positivity happening and winning, and to feel like you are the only negative aspect to any of that has got to be difficult.
Exactly. And, you look at that, and the same situation almost with Stanley Johnson right now. He's gotten taken out of rotation, but he's also taken it in stride, which is great because he is super duper young and has definitely never gone through something like this.
So what's going on? He's been coach's decision the last 4 games or something.
Stan went back to Bullock after he hadn't been since Stanley came back. They put Reggie back on the bench, and then he's gone back to Bullock. And it was definitely the Bulls. He went off in that game. I'm pretty sure. Was that the first game when he came back?
I think it was against the Magic. I think he was 4 of 4 on 3-pointers or something.
That was the first one. Then that was the first game. So yeah, he gets inserted back in there and plays really nice defense and hits his shots. Kind of just understanding his role. Not playing outside himself, and that's what we really need right now, I think. Mm-hmm. Someone who's not really trying to press.
Right, he's got a little more experience just being on an NBA team and just game action and the speed and everything, and probably.
And he's a very good rebounder, and he kind of just knows where to go. He was I think 0 for 2 or 3 last night. He didn't really shoot the ball at all, but he had 5 rebounds, and he just seemed like he was active. And our bench is kind of slim, and we need a guy like him off the bench right now.
Totally. And his defense is good, not good? What's going on?
I think it's pretty good. Like I know his calling card. One of the reasons why we actually grabbed his option for next season just after training camp and preseason was because Stan really liked his defense and his intensity. He just knew it was a good deal. So we re-upped with Bullock without even knowing that he was going to do anything for us. And we have him next year on his rookie contract.
That's wonderful. And even this year, he was over in Grand Rapids for a little bit, kind of falling out of favor maybe, but gosh,
he didn't play for 51 straight games. And then he came in and was great when Stan went down. And then, you never should let someone lose their spot because of injury. So Reggie did go back to the bench. And it was funny in this interview, Stan was like, I probably should have figured out a way to keep Reggie in there. But, I didn't. And I realized, and now he's back in there. And I'm like, wow, that's just great.
Stan always being in the present moment, always vulnerable, ready to take accountability. Right. Could you? I can't even put into words how happy I am to have Stan.
Team first, pass first.
Pass Stan. First. It's the perfect culture fit.
Exactly. Like next man up, but we're not giving up on Stan. I still think that Stan will play some kind of a role in the playoffs. I really do. I think that we can find some minutes for him here and there. We could pull some minutes from, even Tolliver a little bit and get Stan in there a little bit on the court. Move Marcus to the 4 or something like that,
The playoff series is a grueling thing, and we're going to need somebody to come in for 10 minutes and lock down on D and be another body out there.
If we get that 8 spot, Bron is going to be coming at us all game. There's no reason why we couldn't, for 20 minutes a game, have Stan D him up full court.
All right, you got 6 fouls. Go D up as hard as you can.
Could you imagine if Stan just stuck on Bron from the second he touched the ball all the way down the court and just worked, and we just kept giving him runs on Bron?
Love it. Even if Bron doesn't have the ball, just get in his grill all game.
That's what I mean. Stan just follows LeBron.
I don't put it past SVG, because we're saying a lot of Stans here. We probably said so many Stans.
It's really hard with all these Stans.
I know. One of them's got to go by Stanley, and I think SVG should actually end up going by Stanley Van Gundy.
Yep, or we could eventually go Coach.
Coach. Maybe.
But he's so much more. He's so much more than a coach.
He's everything. He's Daddy Rich.
Yep, so he's Daddy Rich. You can't refer to him as just one thing. So SVG is kind of his main umbrella.
Mm-hmm. I know. Maybe if there's some kind of Daddy Rich Junior type thing like that, maybe we can put it out to anyone who listens to this to help us with a little nickname for Stan Van Gundy.
That is good. We should do some kind of prize thing.
Mm-hmm. We're passing first, so
right, where we give something away to whoever has the best name option for Stan. Maybe they come on and we feature them a little bit. We do something with them.
Anything's possible. We are here talking with open minds, wanting to learn and wanting to make people happy by talking about the P and all hoops. And
really anything that involves hoops or Pistons that people would like to hear. We're not trying to trash or down or play off anybody. It's just a happy cast.
There's a ton of information out there about the players, about statistics, how to manage a team, and I feel if we can hop on here and take what we see and what we read and put a happy, positive spin on it and give some information to people and improve people's day, why not?
Why would you not do that? Who doesn't appreciate something like that?
So it's looking like, who are we going to play here? We're a half game up on the Pacers.
We still have Miami and Cleveland. There's a good chance that Miami and Cleveland could rest guys.
I know Cleveland is 3 games up on the Raptors, and they have 3 games left to play. So
yeah, I think Cleveland's going to be the 1 seed, we could say at this point.
Yeah.
Miami and the Hawks and all these guys are all tussled up here in the 3 through 6 range, which is kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. Even the Hornets are in there, which is wild.
Yeah, Hornets tied with Miami. I've said it before to you. I want the Cavs. That's who I want in the first round. I want the publicity. I want Stan involved in press conferences and talking about the whole thing. I want the fiasco with the media, with the Cavs, and I think that all plays into our favor, and I think we have great systems in place to handle to handle it mentally from a publicity standpoint, and I think we would love playing that role.
I agree. I would love the Cavs. They just seem like a team that could get so rattled so quickly and have everything to lose, and we have nothing to lose.
Right.
And we're coming in hot, 8-2 in our last 10. We could really, I think, just jump on them early. That's kind of my thinking. I think someone like Toronto has a lot more to prove. No one talks about them. They're kind of like, hey, we're great. We had a good season. No one even cares. We're from Canada.
Exactly, and they travel well. They
travel well. They're right in our backyard. So is Cleveland, though. So
it's a really cool geographic matchup, regardless of who we play.
Some border boys. The Pacers have Brooklyn and New York left at home, and then Milwaukee on the road.
Okay.
Those could all be W's. We have the Cavs in Miami. I think the Cavs are looking at this as like, we're kings of the East. We're going to roll to the East. We got all eyes on Golden State. The Spurs, they think they're up there with those guys. They're not.
The flip side of wanting to play them is I think they're going to be fine, and I could see them rolling right through the East again. I mean, all this criticism that has taken place is from the regular season, the Kevin Love stuff. Everyone criticizes him, but the bottom line is they were rolling through the playoffs last year, starting to play amazing basketball with Kevin Love and then also without Kevin Love. And they were in the finals two games from winning it. Those are the facts. I don't care what's happened on social media, but those are the facts. So for people to knock their accomplishments or act like it's all over, or even LeBron has plenty of motivation right now.
Yeah, I would say LeBron probably has more motivation this year than last year. I think last year might have even been more of a coast year for LeBron, to be honest.
That's true, yeah. He was just back in Cleveland, and it was all kind of gravy.
Exactly. I'm back. I'm the king. Let's get this going. But now, from a talent standpoint, yes, they should be right there. And we'll see what happens. The last, 4 or 5 years, the Cavs have rolled through the first round. I'm talking sweep or one loss. That's it. And it started off with beating us back in 2008. All of LeBron's teams. So even when he was on the Heat, his teams have just rolled in the first round. So that's something to think about as well.
Yeah, that's not promising.
Different year, different team,
Yeah, I definitely think we're the type of team that could come out and steal that first game.
Oh, that'd be great.
Maybe that doesn't even work in our favor because then they're all pissed off. I mean, the bottom line is both teams are going to be locked in. It's the playoffs.
And anything that happens that we do is going to be all over everything because it's the Cavs, it's Bron. The exposure is going to be out of this world.
Exactly. Playing Toronto, I feel like that series would go pretty unnoticed, honestly.
I agree with you. I think that would be a tough one for people to cue into on a Tuesday night at 7 o'clock on TNT.
Yeah. I mean, we would definitely have at least 2 of our games only on NBA TV.
Oh, yeah. We would have 3 minimum, I'd say 3 minimum on NBA TV.
We would definitely get the 1 o'clock Saturday NBA TV slot. Without a doubt.
NBA TV is licking their chops over a matchup like this.
Yeah. Only the hoops purists really care about a series like that.
True, but the thing is, a lot of people will probably be calling upset too, I bet.
Yeah.
If the Raptors are such a weird team and people just don't really know anything about them, and they're kind of bizarre, but they're also pretty good. Last night they rested their dudes and they won. So against Indiana, a team pressing.
Yeah, geez, that is impressive. Toronto's definitely deep, and there's a lot of continuity there, which is very important.
Yeah, so no Lowry and no DeRozan last night.
And they went in and got it done. Is Vasquez still running backup 1 for them?
Actually, Grieve is over in Milwaukee now, believe it or not. He just came back from an injury.
That's right. There was an off-season deal.
I did have something I wanted to ask you. I don't know why this popped into my head, but I noticed 2 players for playoff contending teams are back from injury, just back, right now, after being gone for a long time, and they're actual, well-paid players that have been injured for a long time and are meant to be part of this team.
Huh.
A player like that, do you pop them back in, or do you try to see what's going on if you're rolling,
Right. That's why we're not NBA coaches, but we're talking about it and hoping it leads us somewhere. But I think you got to throw them back in. I think there has to be a level of trust within your team that when that guy was out, he was still in the loop and contributing, just a part of the team in all of the same ways, except for not being on the actual floor, but still locked in mentally and having the conversations that you have in the film room and everything like that. I don't know. What do you think?
It's hard not to throw him back in. You know, like, that's a guy that you want to be your guy. It's not his fault that he got injured. It's situational, I think, as well a little bit, where maybe you bring him back slowly, give him a couple minutes here and there, and then see how he works back in. You never want to ruin anything either, though, that you have going on, you know?
Right. Who are the players?
So one of the players that I noticed was Damari Carroll.
Oh, that's right. I think they have to play him, especially in the playoffs, because of his defense. But that's a little tougher, too, because it's his first year there.
First year. He's been gone. He's been out for a long, long time.
But he's going to come back?
He's back.
He's back. And what was the other?
The other was Alec Burks.
Oh, I like Burks.
I love Burks. I think he, in Burks' situation, is a great addition for Toronto. Because he's a pure scorer. He was a bench guy. He was averaging 14 a game.
Is he on Utah?
He is. He's on Utah.
Okay. Hey, real quick, I'm going to do something here. You ready?
Okay.
Today's episode of the Pass First Hoopscast is brought to you by the iPhone. Because pretty much everything I do each day is because of this powerful thing that chills in my back pocket. How'd I get so into podcasts? Thanks, iPhone. How do I listen to tunes? Thanks, iPhone. How do I ever know where I'm going in a new place, and even too many times in a familiar place? Thanks, iPhone. This thing is smaller than a hot dog and has become maybe the most useful human item in the history of the world. It came out less than 9 years ago. Got an iPhone appreciation? Start a question with how about the iPhone and email us at passfirstmedia@gmail.com. We'll get you on the air.
Man, I love the iPhone.
Yeah, dude.
Glad to be back.
So anyway, tell me about, did you have some young fellas you wanted to talk about?
Oh, let's see here. You want to talk about some guys that I found that were off the grid a little bit that I'm interested in?
Yeah, some of these guys that I know you've always got your eye on, people ready to break out. So, yeah, if you've got a couple guys, and then we could kind of just talk about it and wrap it up.
I've been noting these guys on my phone randomly. There's this guy from France. He's on the Denver Nuggets. His name is Axel. I'm obsessed with his name.
His first name is Axel.
A-X-E-L. Axel, I believe. Axel Toupane. Toupane. He's from France. He's played on pro teams in France. He went undrafted. He played in some D-League. And he's been moved up on the over in Denver for, I think the first time I noted him was March 11th. Wow, my sister's birthday. And he's been getting like 10 to 15 minutes a night, doing a couple good things, but I don't know. He kind of sparked my interest. I like these players from overseas as well, in different places that find their way without being a high draft pick or someone that's, a big name or such.
So he's a French guy.
He is. He's from France, but it looks like he played in the D-League a little bit.
Wow.
So he must have gone undrafted. I don't know. He's interesting. I don't even know if he'll be on the roster next season. He might be on a 10-day, or maybe a second 10-day. So he could. We may never talk about him again.
Well, it's amazing. Even I was reading that Sam Hinkie letter, and
oh man,
you always hear about how there's scouts everywhere with these teams, but I mean, a guy like Axel. This guy has truly been scouted out in the oddest of ways and taken such a wild route. I would love to we should make little illustrations of the routes that these guys take.
He's definitely worked hard to get where he's at, and he got a chance with these Nugs.
Mm-hmm. What position is he?
A shooting guard, small forward, maybe. He's definitely a guard / wing, I guess I'd say.
Cool.
Looks like he can shoot the 3 ball a little bit, but he didn't get much time last night.
That's why if I'm a Denver fan, the team did not have a good year, but it's nice that you have some flexibility to try out people like this towards the end of the season when it's kind of out of reach.
Exactly. Like, you can just roll with the end, like those last couple spots on your roster, you can just have basically an open tryout at the end of the season for these guys. Smart move, too.
Yeah, why not? All right, so we got Axel. Anyone else?
Yeah, he's a shooting guard. Okay, yeah. So this next guy is funny because I've kind of always had an eye out for him. I couldn't say always. He's only a rookie as well. My brother-in-law P-Rock he's an interesting story for him. This is a Cuse freshman that played last year maybe a handful of games, averaged like 9 points a game, but was a massive recruit. Mm-hmm. And he ended up getting drafted in the first round this year, and he just came back from injury about maybe a couple months ago. His name's Chris McCullough. You know him? McCullough.
The name sounds familiar, but maybe I'm just thinking of McCollum.
Could be. I mean, there are a few of those. And he was the 29th pick in last year's draft after not playing for probably more than a full year because he got injured immediately at Syracuse. He's 6'11", stretch 4. He was a 5-star. He was like a big-time touted recruit, and then he just got hurt and then just dipped.
Wow. What amazing confidence in his abilities.
Right, and a lot of people were not sure because he was kind of falling out of favor at Syracuse a little bit. Like, my guy P-Rock doesn't love him.
Well, you get injured and then you bounce. It's a huge waste of time for your college.
It's tough. But this is a kid that maybe should have never been at Syracuse in the first place. You know?
I'm sure if it was up to him, he would have been straight out of high school.
Exactly. So I've been really interested in him, and they've been bringing him along very slowly. It just seems he can hit threes. He's 6'11". I got a feeling he's going to be something. And last night they started him, played him 25 minutes, and he had 12 points. So
what team?
The Nets.
The Nets. Brooklyn's got plenty of room to do stuff like
that. So
they
drafted him and my guy from Arizona last year. He's kind of an all-purpose guy, not really a shooter. Mm-hmm. Trying to think of his name.
Chris McCullough?
Well, yeah, that's our guy, Chris McCullough.
Keeping an eye out for Chris.
We'll see what he's all about in a couple of years here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's definitely physically what is needed in this new NBA of stretch fours and whatnot.
Right. He's like 20 years old, You should be able to develop someone like that. Unless injuries, riddle someone's career. You invest in a kid and you hope that you can develop him to what you need him to fit the system.
Have you seen him play at all?
I've never seen him play.
I know. I always wonder with guys like that who are going to be asked to play for what's his agility, his mobility and stuff like that.
I have a feeling that he could probably handle the rock a little bit. That's my guess. Mm-hmm. I heard that they could pop him at the 3 possibly. So then you're thinking is that like a Durant?
Right, a Durant Porzingis type guy. Any other guys?
These are the only 2 guys I have today. I kind of want to have a couple guys here and there, I'm not going to go through the whole list.
No, right, yeah. I think 2 is definitely a good number to hit on.
Yeah, McCullough's kind of going to be the guy that I hope is my guy.
Oh man, I can see a Brooklyn Nets McCullough jersey in our future here.
I will buy a McCullough jersey if he ends up panning out.
Let's just wrap it up. Let's call it.
Yeah, this was great, dude. That iPhone thing you did was so funny. That was awesome.
I love doing stuff like that. And
dude, that was fantastic. That was unbelievable.
We can get, if anyone's out there listening wants to advertise with us, we are ready to be creative. That's what we're all about.
We will pop you on.
We will pop you right on.
Smack dab.
So until next time, this has been Drew.
And Pat.
Pass First Hoopscast, signing off, celebrating a Pistons playoff berth clinched on April 8th.
We're back.
Peace out.
See you guys.